Today, Jamie Dimon is one of the most recognizable names on Wall Street. But his very first organization was formed in the 1960s near Queens Boulevard, where Dimon and a team of 9-year-olds banded together against the tyranny of neighborhood teenagers.
We had what we called the Lightning Squad gang, a bunch of kids, and I was one of the captains of the gang. Set ourselves up like a small military unit, sometimes to fight the big guys,
It was a fitting start for the son of a stockbroker who would follow in his father's footsteps into banking, rise to helm the biggest bank in the U.S., fight back against the biggest economic crisis in modern times, and forge a legacy as one of the most respected business leaders today. By 2005, Dimon had made it, climbing the ladder of finance to the top spot at JPMorganChase. For anyone else, it would have been a career capstone, but Dimon had little time to celebrate.
The first signs of it was actually back in '06, and the environment just got consistently worse.
In 2006, banks on Wall Street had been buying up subprime mortgages. As the price of these bundles of debt sharply rose, so did the value of banks that invested in them. But 20 years of leadership in finance had seasoned Dimon enough to know that subprime mortgages were risky. Seeing them accruing in JPMC's portfolio, he issued an urgent order to get rid of them. Less than 2 years later, Dimon would find himself center stage as the biggest financial crisis since the Great Depression sent shockwaves around the globe.
We are watching this market deteriorate.
Every red dot represents a foreclosure.
We're down over 16%.
I got that phone call on March 13th in 2008. I was at dinner with my parents. Bear Stearns couldn't make it through the night.
Dimon's fears had come true. Subprime mortgages were losing value fast. Worse, they'd become embedded in the foundation of Bear Stearns, a pillar of global finance that propped up banks worldwide. If Bear Stearns failed, the others would follow. At stake, savings, dreams of retirement, millions of jobs.
I remember sitting literally on this floor, looking out at Manhattan. This is the Titanic. We've hit the iceberg. The world's going to have real problems.
Dimon and thousands of employees worked through the weekend to purchase Bear Stearns before Monday's opening bell, holding off global catastrophe. But the worst was yet to come. What would be known as the Great Recession had just begun.
9 months later, Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, then Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, banks around the world. It was a full-blown crisis.
Anchored at the center of it all was Jamie Dimon, not because his bank was failing, but because it was one of the few that wasn't. Dimon mobilized JPMorganChase as a stopgap, buying the remnants of giant Washington Mutual after it failed, a move that protected the deposits of millions of Americans. When other banks stopped lending money, Dimon stepped in.
Client by client, country by country, loan by loan. We're going to do this. We're going to help you through this.
As Congress passed the 2009 Economic Recovery Act, it was clear Dimon had helped avert a global depression.
If you go to an average small town and you walk down the street of small businesses, the bakery and the bookstore and the newspaper, they all want to lift up society. They all help. If you lift up society, it's better for everybody. That is the job of a bank. I think it's the job of a citizen. The American dream is still there for a lot of people, but I think you have to acknowledge it's not there for everybody. Rural towns and inner cities are still suffering. They're dying 10 years younger. They have more crime. Their schools aren't as good.
Dimon has led by example, using the investing power of JPMorganChase to help build a strong economic foundation in cities like Detroit.
So the mayor said, anyone who can help fix my city, let's do it. I called him up out of the blue and said, we're in.
Altogether, the $200 million investment revitalized neighborhoods, built businesses, and created tens of thousands of jobs. Today, when Dimon talks about the future of American business, whether in the media or in his annual letter to shareholders, people from all political backgrounds tend to listen. And the message is not simply about banking. It's about foresight, community, and the belief that the smartest investment is in people.
Success to me, there are three things. One is my family, my wonderful kids. Number two is helping my country, getting that right. Kind of number three is the company. This is my best contribution, is what I can do here for employees and clients and countries and cities and states. Myself and all the folks here, we work really hard to do that job well. So I just kind of want my epitaph, saying the world was a better place for him being here.